I'm Richard Sissel, and this is... I'm Richard Sissel, and this is the May 8th Migration Minute. We will only be doing one night of Migration Minute tonight, as it is already so late. And I'm not feeling myself. So last night was an amazing night for bird migration. Why? Well, you can see at around 2:20 Eastern Time last night / this morning, we had 732 million birds in flight in that moment. That means over the course of the night, it is very possible, if not likely, that 1 billion birds crossed through U.S. airspace just in the lower 48. Where was it happening? Well, look right there. It's pretty easy to see. It is bright yellow. The birds were going crazy. That's how I feel right now. I'm going crazy because last night's migration was amazing. Where were the areas that it wasn't going amazing? Well, for those of us living in the Rockies, don't need to keep bringing it up, but a certain local chickadeologist lives somewhere in this area and keeps getting the shaft, the red-shafted northern flicker, that is. And then out east, looks like a couple of places had some local minimized migration, but last night, up the Pacific coast, through the Central and Mississippi flyways, it was hopping. Looking ahead to tonight, which is already on the move, where is migration happening tonight? Well, you can see up the Pacific coast going to be some good movement, as well as the eastern side of the Rockies. We're starting to get some birds in there, but of course still the biggest movement is through that part of those three flyways, the Atlantic, the Mississippi, and the Central. Where's it hottest at? Well, down in southern Texas, and pretty much along the entire Texas Gulf Coast up into southwestern Louisiana. We are talking serious movements of birds coming into the lower 48. And finally, since this is an expedited night of Migration Minute, truly we might actually make it at least under 5 minutes tonight. Where are our lights out forecasts? Well, everywhere the birds are. You can see basically the entire East Coast down into the Gulf states. I mean, that's where it needs to be. We need to get lights out all across the eastern seaboard. Lights need to get out, as well as up into the Great Lakes states. You can see Chicago there. Very much lights out tonight for Chicago. And even these orange areas, that doesn't mean we don't need lights out. It just means there's going to be less maybe of an intense movement in those areas, but still plenty happening. Where else? Well, in Denver and across the Front Range of Colorado, we need some lights out alerts, and then pretty much the entire state of California, as well as up into Seattle, we need lights out all over the place. These are the nights. These next 2 weeks are the nights where lights need to get out. We need to get our windows treated. Not that we didn't need it before, but these are the nights when things are going to go hot and heavy in the nerdiest, birdiest way possible. For your May 8th, and only May 8th Migration Minute, I'm local chickadeologist Richard Sissel. We will see you tomorrow for a lot more migration.